What's good, everybody, and welcome back to Hyperfocus. Today we're going to be doing a quick reaction video to the launch of the new design and branding from Telekom. It's been put together by Meta Design, and we're going to, in this video, look at what they've done, how they've tackled the design, and at the end, as always, we are going to give our responses and vote on this with a score. So, without further ado, I think it just makes sense to jump straight in. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's go. So, Deutsche Telekom is a very big global player in the telecommunications industry. Actually founded in 1995. They have approximately 242 million mobile customers. The headquarters is in Germany, but they have presence in more than 50 countries and more than 226,000 employees. A lot of numbers.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you've improved. Normally Jan's numbers are all over the place, but well done for handling that monumental amount of figures, of numbers.
Thank you.
Very well done. Good start.
Thank you.
That's a lot, by the way.
Yeah,
people.
So I grew up with Deutsche Telekom since it's a German company, and I'm a bit older than 1995, but it was always a part of my environment somehow.
You can ask me if I have any funny stories about Telekom?
Yeah, what's you are actually a loyal customer, right?
I have been with Telekom.
They love you
for a long time.
They love you.
I won't say they actually love me because I complain a lot. That is the nature of Telekom, all these services. But yeah, I chose Telekom when I moved to Germany because we also have Telekom in England as well.
Oh, okay.
I think it was actually British Telecom back in the day.
It took over everything, right?
Yeah.
They're big in America too, I think.
Is it Deutsche Telekom in America as well?
No, it's T-Mobile.
Just T-Mobile. All right. Okay.
All right, so what did they do? One purpose, one brand architecture, one logo, one claim, and one brand design. So that
beautiful
was the main goal for the. Yeah, it's not really a rebranding; it's more like a facelift. So they now have a one brand approach to emphasize the leading digital telco strategy they have. And the goal was to have a uniform international brand positioning and architecture. So they revised the T logo and assigned a clear role to magenta. Yeah, so I think actually the magenta plays a much bigger role than the logo itself.
In the rebrand, or
no, in generally, because they sue everybody who's using something similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they really own that color.
I worked on Telekom before. In my experience as a designer, and on the floor or the shop floor of I worked for DDB. When we were working on Telekom, it was just dripping in magenta, and I think it was time just to take a little bit of a step back from that. So I'm excited to see what they've actually done with the color. Of course, it's synonymous and somewhat owned by Telekom because, as you say, they sued everybody else. But I think, it's probably time just to take a little step back. So let's have a look. Let's see what they've done.
Yeah. So somehow the idea is to really have the whole global brand under one umbrella, like just one logo for the whole thing. Let's see if that worked out. So here is the logo history. And as we can see,
not much has changed.
Not much has changed. No. But they got rid of 2 squares.
Okay.
And they also refined the whole logo slightly.
So what I read was that they changed the trunk of the T, and they just kind of tried to make the whole thing feel like it was weighted a lot better. It kind of stood on its own, kind of a lot more solid. It's very, very, very subtle. But I mean, if you look at 2013, if a gust of wind came along, there's a good chance that could probably fall over. Yeah, it's only very, very slight, but there is a bit of weight, I suppose, behind the new T. They've shortened the ends of the T, as you can see a little bit, and they've made it just a little bit more weightier, and the curve at the bottom of the trunk of the T as well. Just kind of, I think it sits a bit better, and it's probably better for the responsive behavior of the logo when it is sat on its own in social media.
Yeah. So my grandmother wouldn't see these changes.
No, it's just from us to you, because we know that you guys love it when we talk about the details. We have actually had requests to talk more about the details and logo, so we are trying to listen to what you guys are saying and making it happen. So it's in the details.
Okay, so we have here, like everyone does nowadays, they introduce their brand with a nice shiny video.
Brand's
so
in motion.
That's what we look at right now. Somehow, I don't know. The sound is not.
Let's watch it.
All right. You've seen this video the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your first impression?
It looked very Telekom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I say, I've had experience with the brand before, and they're very much into this kind of techie kind of look as well. This information highway, this connected world, you know, and it was often done through beams of light and things moving around, you know, like the power of the internet and stuff. But what I see towards the end, there's still some remnants of that. I'm a little bit confused, but I can see that there's the strategy of the brand has definitely changed. So it's not just a communications network. It's really looking at being the center of something. I'm not quite sure what that is. And I think it's responding to the market at the moment, of course, from things like the metaverse and AR and emerging technologies and where we're going, because you see some of that in there. So I think they've had to respond. But I also see, in some way, Telekom is steeped in tradition, and I don't think they want to go back and look at tradition. They obviously want to look like they're moving forward. But what I also see is like they look like a music platform or something. It looks like a youth culture
Yeah,
platform.
it's-
That you know, like how I would expect MTV or Vivo or something to have repositioned or presented themselves. There was a lot going on there, and in this video, so we have to see how it all rolls out. But I think it's like, let's reconnect with the youth, let's look at the current situation, let's be pioneering, let's move forward. Is that Telekom? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst brand introduction videos I've seen so far.
Okay.
I think it's very overloaded
Yeah.
with stuff, with structures and shapes and forms and visual styles. You have this outline around the headlines, and then sometimes the outline is in front of the typography, sometimes it's behind. And it's, I mean, this globe, you know, tech globe network kind of visualization is very, I mean, it's if you Google technology or put technology into a stock library, then these kind of images come up.
Yeah, but the video is looking at the history.
At the beginning,
Yeah.
at the beginning it does, but
It
at
does,
the
you
end,
do see it again at the end, yeah. So that's.
but they start with the history, and it looks like they're taking a lot from the history into the actual now.
Okay. I've never heard you react
I mean, I've
in such a way.
you know. Anyway, yeah, maybe I stop
Okay.
ranting. It's not,
Yeah.
maybe not the right place.
But I think it's a little bit of a confusing message from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
Okay, so we have here just a few more examples on some campaigns, like how they use this new logo now. It's much bolder, it's much more present than before. It's like really a key visual, I would call it now, in the campaigns. And again, I also struggling with this, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's also my history, because I grew up with Telekom. For me, it is actually, it always was a premium brand, because in Germany it's the most expensive choice when it comes to mobile contracts or also other like landline contracts and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, they really completely lose that. As you say, it looks very young, very colorful, very poppy. And
I think if the strategy was like T-Mobile Youth or
Yeah.
something, or T-Youth or something like that, and it was a specific package, like just like opening up the world of AR, VR, whatever, and also that you get, I know, unlimited bandwidth, so you can download multitudes of media, then that fits perfectly. But as you say to your Oma or grandma, who are probably, you know, still stuck in these contracts, because that's what happens. You get stuck in contracts for years and years. You know, what's the demographic? You know, who you talking to? It does feel very young. And if the strategy is to say, and I don't see that at the moment, this is just for these people, and this is T-Mobile or Telekom Premium, you know, but I'm not seeing that at the moment. I think if you're going to do that in that way, then it has to, from such a brand, it has to live on a slightly different tangent, a slightly different level.
And the logo, how they use it now, I think overall it looks kind of cool if they use it in small, you know, like really like a logo. I think the old logo with the two more squares to it, it has some kind. It represented technology for me.
Okay.
You know, I don't know why. It was kind of techy, you know. It like really fits nicely in the right upper left corner on the website, for example. You know, it's a nice little detail. And right now, if I look how they use the logo now on these big billboards, like super bold, it's more like, I mean, it feels like a religious symbol to me now somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
And you know, that the change was really subtle. But this is like the way they use it now. That's pretty bold change, actually.
Yeah, obviously this is coming directly from a German. I don't have as much of a connection with T-Mobile as you do, but obviously you are very passionate, and this thing resonates. I know that the Church of Apple is probably again some kind of reference here, but yeah, this kind of religious symbol, yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree. All right, okay, well, controversial today. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Meta. I think Meta do some great work. There's not that much out there. Of course, we're looking at some assumptions, but definitely from a brand and design perspective, we definitely have the formula opinion. That's what we do here. So I think I'm going to ask you, actually, to sum it up, share your quick analysis and opinion, and get these scores out of the way.
Okay. I mean, I think you already can feel that my score is not great. I really asked myself why they didn't put a nicer case together to introduce the brand. Because there's nothing on the Meta website. I'm pretty sure they're working on it at the moment. But they already released something, and this is, I don't know. For me, it's underwhelming, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of it. There's nothing what wows me. So I give it a 3.
Okay, a 3.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So as I said before, I've worked with Telekom. I know they can be quite a difficult client. They're very old school and conservative. So I think for them this is very, very progressive. But still, you know, I see some kind of ingredients of looking at the details and trying to build on something. So there's definitely some kudos there, and I think it was very difficult, probably a difficult environment to circumnavigate and to work with. So we have to see what happens. But as it stands right now, I can only give it a 5, and that's really me being super generous, because some of the stuff looks quite clean and quite nice. But I don't really know where it's going, and I have to put my brand hat on as well, and the strategic thinking, and really, I'm confused. I don't really know what they're actually saying.
Let's give it a second chance if they come up with a nice case.
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
know, put it a bit more into context and just better together. Then we look at it again.
So it's out there, and guys, please drop some comments. Let's get a proper conversation started. It's not just our opinion, it's also your opinion. Obviously there's a lot of people who love and are very passionate about this brand, Jan being one of them. So let's try and get some constructive criticism together, get it in the comments, and maybe Meta or maybe Telekom listens to us and here's our feedback, and maybe we can help to persuade or make a change, or just kind of influence somehow where this thing goes, because obviously it resonates with a lot of people. So, yeah, that just about wraps it up for this episode. If you've liked this video and got this far, thank you so much. And don't forget to like the video; it helps us out enormously. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get all the latest brand reviews that we do directly to your phone wherever you consume. And as always, we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Ouch.
Was that too harsh?
It was pretty harsh, yeah. Oof. Yeah, but I understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.